Hello, you're with Libby from libbystamps.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. And today I just thought I'd bring you this card that's sort of like a monochromatic effect. Now, white's not a colour. I've used white Stampin' Emboss powder on this. So I'll just show you how I did it. And I've also done the inside and the envelope, just so you know. Now, I'm using Elegant Eggplant. And what I'm going to do first is stamp up the envelope. And I'll just show you how I did that. So I'm going to stamp up the envelope. And it's a landscape card. Now, if you want to make sure your envelope's up the right way, open up the flap. All right. Now, I'm just going to use Elegant Eggplant ink for this. And I'm just going to stamp up, might help if I had it locked. Stamp it up in Elegant Eggplant. Make sure it's got a good ink coverage. And I put it on sort of a bit of an angle, and it doesn't matter if you stamp off on the insert. There we go. And for the envelope, I didn't re-ink. I just came in and stamped. And again, it doesn't matter if it doesn't all come out. So that looks good on the envelope. All right, so that's our insert and our envelope taken care of. Now I'm going to ink up in Versamark, and I like to do the ink direct to stamp on these larger images just to make sure I get a good coverage. And then on my card front, and I'll put all the measurements on my blog for you as normal, I'm going to stamp on my card front. Give it a good press to make sure you've got it well done. And then white emboss powder. My preferred method is to have the emboss powder in these containers with a spoon. Other people like to just tip it straight on. It's just what your personal preference is. I find I have less waste doing it this way, and I should have used my embossing buddy but forgot. Alright, so that's all I need that Stampin' Emboss powder for. And then I've just got, well, it's not really a scrap, but I've just got some Elegant Eggplant, and what I'm going to do is I'm using the For You stamp from Birthday Blooms, which is the set we're using, and I'm just going to ink up in Versamark, and then I'm just going to ink up in Elegant Eggplant and stamp down, and I'll show you what happens when you use some clear Stampin' Emboss powder with that. So use some clear Stampin' Emboss powder now. Alright, so that's all our embossing done. We now need to heat set those. Alright, so I've heat set it. Look how lovely and shiny that is. Now I'm going to bring in a 1.5 inch circle punch and just punch this out. This is for our sentiment, and I want a bit of space on the top to put my bow. And then I've used a 1.25 circle punch to punch out a circle in Whisper White. So I'm just going to put some liquid adhesive on the back of that one and flip it over. Now I put these off center, so I gave more space down the bottom for the Whisper White, and then through the magic of video I've already tied a bow. I'm going to use my glue dots on that to just pop that on the front. There we go. A little bit different to the other one, but so that's our sentiment done. And we'll just put some Stampin' Dimensionals on that. I'm going to put 2 on. Don't be stingy with your dimensionals, because sometimes it's the making of your card as to whether it's got enough dimension on it or not. So that's that part done. And then while I've still got my elegant eggplant open, there's this little dotty stamp in the set. Now my sentiment will go approximately there, so I'm just going to come in with the dots and just stamp randomly with the elegant eggplant. Okay, so we'll put that on in a minute. Now I'm just going to do a bit of watercolouring with my aqua painter. So squeeze the lid and the bottom together so that you've got a nice amount of ink in the bottom of your lid, and you need your aqua painter, and mine's just gone missing. Here it is. All right, so you need your aqua painter and you don't need it terribly wet, and we're just going to come in with some colour. And just, you don't want to work this paper very much because it's not watercolour paper, a bit wet, so take some of the water out of the aqua painter. That's a bit better. All right, so you're just going to come in and paint the flowers in elegant eggplant. I thought there was another one. No, just this large one. And you don't have to be very careful because the white Stampin' Emboss powder will keep the ink inside the flower. Now I just do a quick wash over first for all the flowers, and then I come back in with a little bit more ink, and see these darker patches here. I just add a bit more colour.
Hey, if you wanna play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside your mind. You'll find inspiration. All I'm saying is you...
This is quite a quick and easy card to do. And I know I'm taking my time, but you can have this done in 5 or 10 minutes. And it makes a lovely card. I'll just come back in here to the centre and give it a bit of depth. All right, and I think that'll do. Okay, so that's our card, and I'm just going to stick it to some Whisper White with multi-purpose liquid glue. And then we're going to pop that over and add some foam adhesive.
Destiny require every dream to believe. Take the chance, lead the dance, and run with what is in your heart. Let the magic...
Got the sentiment on, and we'll just pop the inside on.
You're in charge, yes you can. What's the plan? Come on, let's do this and do it now.
And there we have our card. Monochromatic with a bit of extra colour on it. This one's worked out better, I think. This is the rose red and this is the elegant eggplant. All right, I'll put the photos up on my blog. All the supplies will also be there in the post. If you would like to shop with me and you live in Australia, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I send out thank you gifts for each of my customers at the end of each month. So I hope to see you again soon. That's all for today. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.